According to him, he has a million other receipts that they're holding back, to your point. I'm not so listen, I am way more invested in this than Heard and Depp. I wasn't invested in. I'm really
I
invested in this.
agree. I didn't, I just, to me, Johnny and Amber were like, do I believe she shit in his bed? Yep. Do I believe he like broke glass, threatened to kill her, beat her? Yeah, I do. I believe I believe both sides. Like to me, thankfully, I wasn't the judge because I believe all sides or whatever the jury. I'm like,
But where do you end up after this? Now, I mean, like the point is, does it matter? Like Heard is what? Run out of Hollywood, right? We're done with her, I guess. Right? And are we, I mean,
I thought she was in a Marvel. I thought she was coming up for a Marvel thing, or she was
oh
going to
really?
be. Hold on, let's.
Like, will Justin survive this? Like, I mean, we're not running Ryan Reynolds out of Hollywood, right? I don't know. I really don't know. There's something about this that really does intrigue me. And look, all the PR people are being sued. This one's juicy. I just like my gut just says like I don't know why. I don't know why. I just feel like this is the look, it's not a fair fight, right? I mean, Justin versus
I know
Ryan and
he
Blake is
can't
not.
have.
Now,
I
granted, if he did these things and fat shamed, and I'm going to talk about my addiction to porn, and look, there's fine lines between everything. And right to your point, if the New York Times, if the New York Times is cherry picking things, I mean, this is a real lawsuit here. There's a real lawsuit against them. You guys better beware, right? Like that's not how it works.
well, they say they've, dotted their I's and crossed their T's, and I would hope to God. I
They
mean,
normally do,
do
they
they?
norm. No, I
Not
don't think
according to
so.
Drake Bell, where they
Shh.
labeled him a registered
Hmm.
sex offender years ago, and he has never been a registered sex offender. Yes, he did exchange pictures with a underage girl, but they never met. There was never any sexual contact. But they've never. The New York Times has labeled him as a
Hmm.
sex offender, predator, and they never retracted that story. That's just one.
Hmm.
So anyway,
Wow.
I don't know. I'm very fascinated. I'm very fascinated by it too. But maybe he's a douche caboose. I don't know.
Maybe he's a douche. But listen, TBD, TBD. Let's
TBD. And look, I don't want to see anybody. I've given birth, and I don't want to
okay.
see anybody's. He apparently brought up his wife's, birthing video to a woman, meaning Blake Lively, that's given birth to four children herself. Nobody do that.
Yes. Look, I mean,
But
there's
all
there's
this is like
yeah,
you've got to be there because it's everything is in context, right? And it's like
correct.
working in morning radio. You know, I never, Kane, my former co-host, was obviously mentally ill and had severe OCD, and he was
How did
managing
Kane pass away?
complications from a drug alcohol
Oh,
overdose. He didn't die of that. He came to. He was like mixing ketamine and
no.
what's the other one that relaxes you? Okay, wait, it was like ketamine, alcohol, antidepressants, and Xanax that it chills you out. And he aspirated, came to, but then I think he'd done so much damage to his body. I think he began to get sepsis.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Listen, we're gonna see what happens on this story. Let's keep an eye on this one. I'm loving Lala Kent lately. I'm loving her. I'm sorry, guys.
You are? I thought you were getting ready to read her the riot act.
No.
Okay, okay. What? Tell me, tell
Now,
me.
Lala has been doing, I am agreeing. Now, first of all, I loved having Lala on this podcast. I really, again, can tell you guys when someone sits before me and I stare into their soul in a Zoom or in a room, Sarah, not every interview is created equal. You've been doing this since before half of these children listening were born. Okay. We
True.
know when someone in Lala, both times I interviewed her, I found very, very authentic. I asked a question and I got a real answer, not a clickbait answer, not an answer to make Lisa Vanderpump happy, not an answer to piss off Tom Sandoval, not an answer to suck Andy's dick. I just got real answers. And that is just my experience with her from the past. But she's saying a lot of shit lately that I'm like, man, I agree with every word coming out of this girl's mouth.
Okay,
Well,
go
first of
through it.
all, not starting with this, but she has said that, she's a little upset with Ariana and Katie. Ariana says that she's relieved, quote unquote, relieved that Vanderpump Rules is not coming back. And Katie, we know says she wasn't coming back if she got asked back. So Lala's, first of all, like, really to Katie, which we've discussed here. Really, Katie? So I'm going to second Lala on that one. And
You always call BS. You say none of these people quit.
no, I think I'm trying to think of who I really. There's a couple of people that I like. Bethany quit. Bethany Frankel quit back in the day. There are people that quit. I think Candy probably quit. Right? She wasn't going to sit around and wait for. I mean,
Wait,
look,
Our
I
Candy Gal from Potomac or Candy Burris?
Oh no, not Candy Gal, honey. Candy Burris. I think Candy Burris is like, well, this ship is sinking. I'm worth $25 million. And you also want me to put a hold on all my options here of to do other things and for you to figure out our HOA. No, I think Candy Burris quit. Candy Gal, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
girl. Nah, Candy Gal don't
You
quit.
Candy Gal saw the writing on the wall.
Candy Burris, I think, quit. I don't think Candy Gal saw the writing on the wall. I
Yeah.
think Candy Gal Dillard would still be there. But I think, so Katie, I think, is full of shit. But, Lala has said, look, like, this is the greatest gift of my whole life was Vanderpump Rules. I like it. And she finds it a complete slap in the face when Katie's lying and saying that she says she's wasn't going to come back. And Ariana says that she's relieved. And this is the greatest gift that she has in her life. And she says, this is where I'm like, okay, yes, this is just what I say. She's like, let's just remind everyone we have every opportunity that we have right here, yesterday, tomorrow, because of Vanderpump Rules. Give
Mm.
them Lala, something about her, being on Broadway in Chicago, whatever it is, these are all because we were on a show called Vanderpump Rules. Without this show, without this show, no one gives a fuck about who we are, basically, is what she said.
Okay,
Without this
fair enough.
show, yeah, without this show, no one's going to remember what we did, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, exactly. And she said, before this, I was just a bitch trying to beat the streets, a squirrel trying to get a nut. And this show changed my whole life. Yeah, it did. It did change your whole life. And she's basically saying, like, without this show, the more we fade, the more it fades. Hi, Vicky Gunvalson. Love your podcast. Oh man, and I was supposed to be nice this year. I was supposed to be nice, but I can't. This just came out. David, pull it together. You're supposed to be nice. But without the show, the more the show is in the distance, you're no longer from the show. Now you're just a person, and people forget. They forget, right? They forget very
People have
quickly.
they have very short memories.
Very short memory. So she's saying, like, without this show, we would be nothing and we would have none of these opportunities. Now, yes, Bethany, your favorite housewife, apparently of all time now, Luann.
Oh,
I,
no,
I, I,
no.
I gotta tell her that you are just a fangirl. She'll love